In my last video, I talked about tips and tricks on solving the essay questions. And I also asked in that video that do you want me to make more videos on solving these essay questions? So I was very happy to see the response in the comment sections which you guys have put down. Yes, you want me to make videos on the essay section. So in this video, I'm going to take one question, one essay question, and try to solve it, and also try to give you some tips, tricks on how you can answer that particular question. And let's get started with that particular question. Before that, if you're new to this channel, make sure that you like this video and also comment your views on this particular question. If you find any doubt in it, comment it down below. If you want to add on some more points onto the answer, then also put it down in the comment section below. It is highly appreciated. And subscribe to our channel if you have not yet subscribed. Let's get started. So here's the question which I have taken, which is related towards small parts. So before we read this particular question, okay, before we read this question, we need to read the requirement of the question. Okay, like let's just read the requirement of the question. I'll just keep my camera aside, or else let me just keep it off so that you can have a proper look at the question. So now if you just look into the requirement, identify and describe the three objectives of a system of internal control. Now, three objectives of a system of internal control. So I guess so that this particular question is a general question rather than related was the case. Okay, let's see next. Identify and explain three ways that the procedure for handling return product violates the internal control system of segregation of duties. Okay, so this is something related towards the question. So we need to read the question. What is he asking? If it is violating internal control system of segregation of duties, then identify four functional responsibilities within an organization that should be separated. Explain why these responsibilities should be separated. Okay. While we are reading the question, we should be, our mind should work towards the requirements. Remember this. Then next question, identify and describe three ways that the small parts can provide for better internal control over its inventory of a returned product. So all in all, we have four good questions. In this particular question, I guess we have complete theory. We do not have any problems, but we will do a question which has problems also in the upcoming video. For now, let's just go with this one and let's read the question. Now, small parts is a manufacturer of metal washers, screws, and other parts required in the manufacturing of various handmade, craft, and novelty items. The firm has the ability to custom make virtually any small part, provided the client is able to provide small parts within the dimensions and tolerance required of the product. Matlab ke? Tolerance in the sense is, if suppose this is a small part, let me just switch on the video. If suppose this is a particular small part which you have to make, maybe it is, a pen. If suppose if that's a pen, then tolerance in the sense that at what height, suppose this length is the main thing of this particular product. Let me just keep it here. If it is visible, if this is the length of this particular product, how much is the tolerance in the sense thoda upar niche agar ho jaye, if it is having some variance in the product, what is the tolerance level? If they keep it, then it would be fine. They can make a small product, fine. Because of its niche in the market, it's a small market. Small parts has over 1,000 clients. Unfortunately, many of its small business clients eventually merge or cease operations. Okay, so they may close down or get bought off. One of the company's biggest challenges is the return of shipped product. Usually, this is because the small business client has ceased operations. While most of the product is custom made, small parts has found that much of it can be sold to other clients for adapted use. The company's accountant is reviewing the company's internal controls and financial accounting procedures, in particular with respect to inventory. Okay. I guess that was something introduction. Now, currently small parts has one salesperson responsible for marketing returned product. This salesperson has exclusive and total control over the returned product, including arranging of sales, terms, billings, and collection. The salesperson receives the returned product and attempts to find a client who may be able to adapt the product for the client's use. The inventory of returned product is not entered in the accounting records under the logic that the cost is sunk. Revenue generated from its sale is classified as other revenue on the small parts income statement. So on seeing this particular question, what I can understand is that this part of the question is actually just an overview, a background of this particular organization. So in your exam also, you are going to receive a background of a particular organization, which you need to be solving. In fact, in this heading, it will be written also in your examination. Those who have given the examination can agree also with it, that background will be written, that you have given a background so that you get the feel of the organization, that you are there as a management accountant working in that organization. And now comes in this particular paragraph are the concerns. Now each question is going to be different, but in this particular question, currently these problems are there, that there is one sales person, he is responsible for marketing the return product. So a return product which you have got, he is responsible for marketing that particular product. This salesperson has exclusive the total control over the return product, including arranging of sales, terms, billings, and collections. So here in this particular question, if you just see in here, explain 3 ways that it violates the internal control system of segregation duties. So this is what it is violating. See, if you just see in there that, he is responsible for, sales, terms, billing, and collection. So if this particular one person is responsible for 3 to 4 things in the organization, or the complete sales process he is responsible, it is violating segregation of duties. So that is what it is related to that particular question. Then if you just see in there, the salesperson receives the return product and attempts to find a client who may be able to adapt for the client's use. Then inventory of the return product is not entered in the accounting record. So it is not entered in the accounting records. Why is it not entered in the accounting record? It should be entered something like sales returns. But this logic which they have applied, that it is a sunk cost, we don't need to enter it. It should not be done like that. But many businesses actually do this also in real time. But it should not be done because of the accounting rules. Revenue generated from its sale is classified as other revenue on the small parts income statement. So we have all in all a very good question in here. So let me just open up a Notepad. Okay, a Notepad is the best thing on which you can solve, because Notepad or a Word document also you can open up for your practice, because in your main examination you are also going to have a small box which is going to be in here. Let me just open it up and keep it in front of you. So here I have opened up a Notepad. Why I've opened up a Notepad is because, in your main examination, you're also going to get something like this. Your, background of the question will be there at the left side. Then you will have your questions, which would be written somewhere here. And you would be giving your answer somewhere here. So let me just keep it like this in front of you. Okay, so now let's get started. So are there chances of copy pasting anything like this? Copy here and paste here. Yes, you can do that. In your main examination, can you do that? Yes, you can do that. Okay, I hope that this is clarifying you a lot. So let's just see this particular question. Now there will also be a doubt that, sir, shall we, copy this question here? Like this, shall we copy this question here and keep it as, this as the first question and keep it here? If you want to do that, do it, but it's not required at all. Okay, so now let us just answer the first question. Identify and describe 3 objectives of a system of internal control. So what are the objectives of a strong internal control system, or a good internal control system? Is having good operations, having proper reporting, and compliance. Now, this is, I've just written down roughly just for explanation that these are the three objectives of an internal control system. But we need to frame it as an answer. We cannot just say that, okay, identify and describe three objectives. So these are the three objectives. That's what we cannot say that. We should be having, we should frame it as an answer. To have a, or we can say that okay, yeah, to have a good internal control system, you need to have an efficient operations management, operations management. You need to have proper financial reporting and was the third one, comply with rules and regulations. I guess this is getting there. यहाँ से इसको enter कर लेंगे. Okay, having proper rules and regulations. So this is what are the three objectives. Now you need to have an organization, or you can also say that the objective of a good internal control system is to have, or is to give assurance, to the stakeholders. Now, who are the stakeholders? All people who are participating in the organization or they have interest in the organization. Stakeholders. And a good internal control system will have, okay, again it is going here. And a good internal control system will have their operations reporting and compliance in a right format, or something like that you can put it. So this is how can be our answer to the first question. We are done there. Identify and describing three objectives of a system of internal control. Fine there. Now coming up towards the next question. So next question is identify and explain three ways that the procedure for handling return products violates the internal control system. Okay, let us just copy this question, paste it here, and let's just try answering it. So me telling the answer is something else, writing down the answer is something else. So it's better to write it down and have proper understanding about it. So let's just write it down. For an organization, or not for an organization, why am I writing for an organization? Let's write down answer. And in fact, for three ways that the procedure of handling return from violate. Okay, he's just asking what are the things which he's doing to violate. He's not asking the solution to it. So let's just see that what. So this salesperson has exclusive control over return, including sales, billing, and collection. So इसी को copy paste कर लेंगे हम लोग first. Control C, Control V. Now, when we have this, we should not just copy paste karna is not the key. He receives the return to find the client who may be able to adapt the we can copy this also. But just see this, I'm not pasting it just like that. I'm going to, restructure it. The inventory of return goods not entered in the, this is also a problem. Control C, Control V. Then revenue generated from its sales classified, fine. So now I can say that this salesperson has exclusive and total control over the return product, including arranging of sales terms, billing, and collection, which violates the segregation of duties. And we can also say that the organization is not putting any efforts to segregate these duties. Again, this is enter. They can also see that the organization is not putting in to receive all these stuff. Okay. Let us just put enter here and then enter here so that we are there on the same page and not going beside. Fine. Where was I? We can also see that the organization is not putting any effort to segregate these duties. Yahan se, the first thing which we copy pasted, that's done. Now receives and the return product and attempts to find if the salesperson is receiving, receiving the return product and attempts to find a client who may be able to adapt the product for the client's use, is also a violation of internal control system. Internal control system. Now, one more thing I just wanted to add on here is that if you just see in here, my typing speed is not that fast. So if you are also a student and you're not your typing speed is not that fast, not at all a problem for your examination. I hope you guys are getting it. Not at all a problem. Just practice this much, you'll be able to do it. Okay. This also violates the internal control systems. Internal control system of segregation of duties. The inventory product is not entered in the accounting records under the logic that it is a sunk cost. Also violates the internal control system, as it should be done by an accounting expert. Done. We are done with this. Identify 3 ways the procedures that the procedure for handling return product violates. So these were the 3 procedures which they were doing, which were violating the internal control system of segregation of duties. 3 points we have mentioned in there. Next, third question. Let us just copy paste our question. Identify 4 functional responsibilities within an organization that should be separated. Explain why these responsibilities should be separated. So what other responsibilities should be separated? Now let me just say you that how it should be. First of all is who is to be authorized. Okay, who's authorized to do it? Who is authorized to, then who has to record it? Who has to maintain the custody of the goods? who has to deliver this, deliver and deliver it is separate, and then reconcile it is nothing but again recording it to have whether this thing has gone in the right format. So these are the 4 to 5 things which are to be separated: who is authorized to do it, who is recording those transactions, who has the custody of it, who's going to deliver it, and who's going to reconcile it. So these are the 5 things which we need to take into consideration. So around this 5 we are going to answer this question. So it's not like just putting out these options is not the key in here. We should frame answer for it. So to segregate duties, an organization must put efforts in number 1. Let us just put it here. Mohan, what it is? The person authorize a particular person for the transaction. Authorize a particular person to receive the sales returns. Authorize a particular person to receive the sales returns. And now when we do this, a person to authorize to receive the sales return, it is like there should be the responsibility of him to take this particular thing forward. So authorize a particular person to receive the sales return. So he can be anyone, but he should be authorized to do it. Like in this particular thing, there's a salesperson, it's fine, not a problem. Then next, recording of the transaction, we can say with compliance. With compliance is actually with compliance to the rules, regulations, recording the transaction with compliance. That's the reason we need to do that. Then third one, what we need to do, custody should be with a separate person. Okay. And then fourth one, what we'll do here is, okay, this is how our rough work was, but let us just move forward. Deliver and reconcile, let us just put it reconcile rather than deliver, because here also you see it's four functions which he's asking. So let us just go on forth with reconciling should be done by an independent person so that it is free from any influence. For responsibilities that should be separated, why they should be separated, that also we have mentioned. Yeah, to segregate duties, an organization must put efforts in authorizing a particular person to receive the sales returns, recording of the transaction with compliance, custody to be with a separate person, or should be with a separate person. Yeah, we should add on separate person to avoid issues, to avoid problems, we can just put it. Problems with storage. Let's just put that. Okay, I guess so. Then this is fine for the third answer. Let us just remove our rough work over here. And then move forward to a fourth question. Identify and describe 3 ways that small parts can provide for better internal control over its inventory or return product. So what it should do here, so I guess so mixture of the previous answers itself. Now let me do this. You guys are watching this question answer till here, right? Let me tell you that the answer for this particular question is here only. Okay, is here only. Somewhere or the other, there only. You need to, restructure that answer and put it down here. Identify and describe 3 ways that small parts can provide for better internal control over its inventory of returned products. So what can they do? So let me keep this open for you guys. Okay, like this is the question. This is the answer for the first 3 questions, and we have the 4th question. I would be really happy if you guys can have an answer. I guess this answer will be for 3 to 4 lines only. If 3 to 4 lines, you can put it down in the comment section below. If you put this answer in the comment section below, I'll be really happy that you are participating in this question. If you answer this, okay, if you answer that and put it in the comment section, the next thing what I'll do is I'll take another question which will be problematic, okay, which has some problems, calculations. How do we solve those calculations in this essay? I'll be doing that particular question. But for now, I require your participation. Put down the answer, frame an answer. I hope that this question, this answer, and also the requirements, you can pause this video, watch, see, you can zoom it. Yeah, I guess now you have everything in front of you. You also have this. Okay, this, how can I just zoom it? Yeah, this is how I can zoom it. So this is how I have answered this particular question. You can watch this also. I hope that this should be highly helpful for you. You can pause this, read this answer. If suppose you find out, sir, this is not right, which you have done, or something else also you can add on, that also participation. I'll highly appreciate it if you can add on some more points in it. This is just a short question, just to understand that how essay questions are answered. So go forward, put in your efforts for this. I look forward to it, and let's see how we can improve your examination and how I can help you out for your upcoming examination. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'm also looking forward for the answer for the 4th question. Thank you.